How's it, everybody? The amusement park opened as a garden in the mid-20th century during a rebuilding campaign after World War II. The gardens gave a steady inflow of guests until the 1990s when a new owner, seeing the potential, bought the gardens, and not too long afterwards, the first carousel and food courts were opened. Attendance soared, and after the land in the main garden area got filled with games, rides, and food stalls, a new parcel of land was acquired near the park. Seeing the success of Fahrenheit at Hershey Park, they contracted Intermin Rides out of Liechtenstein, among others, to create the park's largest expansion in 2009. To this day, Lakeshore Gardens is a major contributor to the region's tourism and charm, even hosting the local circus when the time comes. The circus, known as the Kerman Circus, works with Lakeshore Gardens financially and physically, leasing the nearby land whenever it rolls into town. Although both entertainment complexes are surrounded by developed areas, they stand strong in the tourism industry. I want to say a big thanks to Comic Man for the name and the backstory. With that, let's get into today's episode. Alright, welcome back to the Nomasburg region. Man, it feels like it has been years since I last did one of these. How's it, everybody? Hope everybody is well, hope everybody has been keeping safe. In case you do not follow me on the live streams, you probably have not seen me heard from me since December. I think that was the last time I posted a video, and that was not even a regular build video. That was just the Shattered Island map. I have been quiet for quite a while, and it's been a journey, but I figured, it's been so long, I might as well put something together and give a bit of an update as to what's been happening in my life and why I've been so quiet, I suppose. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building nothing too fancy, just this neighborhood that you're seeing. And then we will be extending on the fishing docks that we started. I don't even know how long ago it was now. I've completely lost track of all the episodes. But yeah, the focus is we'll build a small little area and then we will continue that. I had wanted to make something grand as my return video, but try as I may, nothing grand was coming to my mind. So I thought I'll just keep it simple. Let's just get something down, build something, and let us have a quick chat. So at least whatever I'm building, it's nothing that requires me to explain too much, so you don't need to worry too much about my thought process around that. I think in between everything I will give you a bit of my thought process where I think it's relevant, but the main point of this video really is to answer the many comments that I've seen from people, messages I've received as to where I am I okay, and so on. But as you can hear, I am okay, I am alright. I mentioned earlier about the live streams, and that if you followed me on Twitch, you would see that I live stream every now and then. Not as often as I would like, and that is really all due to the power crisis that we have in the country, which, by the way, is the source of the reason why I've been so quiet for so long. But I thought in all of that, I would have had more time to be live streaming, at least, so that I could keep up to date with people. But it's not as easy as I thought it would be, because most of the time, the way our power outages are working, I almost always have a power outage sometime between the hours of, let's say, 6 p.m. till midnight. And usually I tend to do a lot of my recordings between 9 p.m. and midnight. After I have got back from work, had some time to relax, spend some time with the kids, put the kids to bed, spend some time with the missus, and then once she goes to bed, then I will lock myself up somewhere and get cracking on recordings. But what often tends to happen is that come 8 p.m. or 10 p.m., there is some kind of a power cut for at least 2 or 4 hours, and it varies. But what sucks about it is that it's always smack bang during my, should I call it, recording times, or the times that I have in the past allocated to recording. Now, unfortunately, the days are not mine to do as I please, because I've got a full day job that I have to go to. So during the days, I do not have the time to be able to do that. The only time I have is at night, and with the crisis that we're having, it has completely thrown all of that into complete disarray. So I was at a point where I had to try and squeeze, a half an hour here, an hour here, and that can be quite jarring. If you've paid attention to any of the times that I stick in the video descriptions, a single segment like you're seeing now between camera transitions, depending upon how complex the area is, can take anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours to record it because of the way I record. So if I rush to try and fill something into a 30-minute slot or into a 1-hour slot, I'm often going to end up with a result that I'm not happy with. So when this power crisis first started, I was trying to record. As a matter of fact, I'm in between 2 videos. This one that you're seeing, I was in between. This one that you're seeing, which is finally done, and one that I was recording on City of Tando. And in both cases, I record a bit, there's a power outage, and then when the power comes back, life is happening. I've got to do stuff, got to spend time with the family. And in most cases, the motivation is gone, right? I mean, with creative things like this, in my mind anyway, or the way it works for me, is I can't just snap my fingers and all of a sudden know what I want to do. I have to come fidget around, place things, delete things, see what works, what doesn't work out camera angles and so on, before I can sit down and record this final footage that you see. So with all of that happening, it really messed me up. I was like, I couldn't record. The little time that I had, I'm fighting between what I must do with my own personal time, with family time, with the recording and so on. And this created a lot of conflict. So for my own peace of mind and for the sake of my own family, I decided to just step back a bit. Now, I think back in January, I did post a message saying that I was coming back into things because our power crisis was a little more stable. Well, not stable, but a bit more predictable. It wasn't even a week after I posted that, and everything that I said just was not relevant anymore. And I was just in a space where I was like, you know what? Forget this. Let me just take a step back. Let me relax. Because I didn't like the mental battle that I was facing, for myself, between myself and my family. I was just like, it's not worth it. So I took a step back from all the recordings because I didn't even have enough time anyways. So I took a massive step back and just decided to wait, see how things play out. Either the power crisis gets back, or it gets better, or I myself get into a space where I'm a bit more comfortable and I can work around the schedule that we have without beating myself up, without sacrificing too much from, family and everyday life. So that brings us up to today. Now, in between that, by the way, I had been doing some live streams. I've done quite a few live streams this year. The only thing is that my live streams are now always kept short to an hour to about 2 hours. If I'm lucky, able to push it to 2.5 hours. But they're quite short because of how the whole situation is at the moment. But whenever I get the time, I do try and live stream. So if you want to catch me a little bit more regularly, you can check out my Twitch, where I do stream a lot, or you can check out my sister Sanctum Gamer live channel here on YouTube, where I try and upload a lot of the live streams that we do. So yeah, that brings me to this video, which I started recording back in, I think mid-December somewhere. And I had wanted this whole area to be this grand marina and all kinds of funky stuff. But with a little bit at a time that I was recording, there's like literally weeks between what you see as a smooth camera transition. There's weeks between them. And then somewhere along the line, there was an update to the game. So when I came back into it, things were not working. And I just didn't have the energy to figure out all the mods that were broken. And so it's been a roller coaster with this episode, or with this video, I suppose. But eventually, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was at a point where I was like, you know what? I genuinely miss the game. I want to continue building. I want to continue expanding on these towns and regions and cities that we've been working on. And so I sat down for a couple of hours when I could. I recorded. I was super happy with how I felt, I suppose, when I recorded. So I kept on feeding off of that energy. And little by little, I didn't pressure myself. I didn't force it. I didn't try and get a video out by this Friday. I said to myself, if I can finish this video by this Friday, I will get it out. I actually finished recording this video, I think, last week Monday. So from the date that you're releasing, so I know I'll be releasing it, what's today? Today's the 22nd. So the 25th, I think, 26th, this will probably go out. I actually finished recording this about 2 weeks earlier, and then got into the editing, and then I realized that the editing is actually quite tedious, right? This thing that I used to do all the time is extremely tedious. And also, I'm not as, should I say, dynamic with the editing as I used to be. I had forgotten a lot of the shortcut keys that I would use. I had forgotten where a lot of my composite shots were. And even though I have this template that I work off of, I don't know what was going on in my head, but things were just not the way they should have been. So instead of finishing this edit in about 2 days like I usually do, it ended up taking me over a week to finish this editing. But all in all, here we are. Finally, we've got a video out again. And I think Nomasburg was the one that I wanted to get out. I think I was further along with the City of Tando one, but I wanted to get the Nomasburg one out because it allows me to do commentary and therefore talk to you and explain where I've been, what has been happening. And yeah, so I'm glad I pushed to get this complete. And so here we are. So to everybody who sent me messages asking how I'm doing, wishing me well and so on, I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. It really has been awesome. To the Discord community who have been continuously active even in my absence, thank you guys so much for continuing all of that. And to Comic Man, who probably even forgot that they submitted the story for the amusement park and circus area, because I actually asked for this to be done so long ago. I think it was end of October or early November sometime, that I posted on my Discord server asking for the story for that, and Comic Man posted their story. It got all the likes, but then I never got around to releasing the next video. So thank you all for all the patience. Comic Man, thank you for that story. It eventually came out, even if it feels like it took 50 years. It eventually came out. And from this point on, I am not promising that I'm going to have videos out all the time. I'm going to be recording whenever I get the opportunity. Every time I can, have a long marathon of recording session, I would make use of it. But I can't guarantee that a video is going to come out every week or a video is going to come out every 2 weeks. We might have a period where we'll have 2 or 3 videos come out in a row, but then we might have longer spells where videos don't come out. It's all going to depend on how the situation unfolds in the country with regards to the power. I'm currently trying to organize a solar installation so that at least I can be off the grid as much as possible, but that is quite a pricey thing that I have been working towards. So fingers crossed that I can get that sorted. And once I can get that sorted, then I'll be in a much better place where my power is more reliable, it's more consistent, and we can get out videos a lot more frequently. I will also continue to be on live stream. Live streams are almost always in the evenings on a Saturday night or a weekday night, usually Tuesday or Wednesday. But even those are not guaranteed because of the way the power situation works. So whenever I have a period of time where I don't have a power outage between the hours of, let's say, 8 p.m. and midnight, I have to balance it between should I live stream or should I record? And if I have finished a recording, should I live stream or should I edit? And it's always a balance that I'm trying to make to try and maximize the time between producing videos whilst at the same time spending time with the live audience that is coming through over on Twitch. Something that I thoroughly enjoy. I've been enjoying the live streams a lot. I feel like they are less work than the YouTube videos, because the YouTube videos take hours and hours, not just to edit and record, but also the preparation that goes into it. So right now, when I do have a bit of time, it's usually better spent if I live stream, because I can get a lot done versus, when I try and record something where I only manage a small, tiny little block. But yeah, that's the story. That's where things have been. That's where things are now. And that's where things are going. So again, thank you all so much for your patience, for your support, for your messages. I really appreciate it. And to those patrons that have hanged around, I want to say a big thank you. I really appreciate your support still. As all the funds that are coming out of Patreon, I'm still pushing that towards that solar installation that I want to do. So thank you all so much for hanging in there with me. I really, really, really appreciate it. And then where we are at is we're finishing off this harbor or fishing area. I really wanted this to extend out into the sea and to blend in with the ferry terminal and the ferry depot. And I think I got the look that I wanted. It flows nicely from the one that we built eons ago. I try and show a bit of an aerial shot of the entire harbor area or fishing docks area, just to put everything into perspective. So in the end, in the cinematics, keep an eye out for that. You're gonna see how all of this blends in. I do want to modify this place a little bit, but I want to do that in the live streams because of the area that we're building and the fact that things need to be on water and they need to be floated and so on. It's a bit tricky doing all of this from a single camera angle. So in the coming week, maybe even weeks, depending upon when I can, I want to get into a live stream where we're going to tweak this place just a little bit with a small little extension or expansion that you want to call it, just to tidy up the place, make it look a bit neater, and yeah, hopefully get it to look exactly as I was thinking in my mind. But otherwise, that is pretty much this whole episode. I I'm hoping the next one will be the City of Tando one, because I'm so far along with it. That is probably what the next video will be. And then at some point we'll get back into Nomasburg. We will be rapidly moving through Nomasburg whenever we get the opportunity, especially in the live streams now. I'm not using them for just touch-ups anymore, but I'm using them to actually continuously expand on all of these cities that we're building, these regions. Otherwise, I'm not gonna get to the end of it. But yeah, that's it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your patience. And here is fingers crossed, thumbs crossed, everything crossed that things will improve. If they don't improve, I get that alternate power source and I'm able to get back into things. Once again, thank you so much for all the supporters over on Patreon. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everybody who watches my videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take it easy. Keep safe, and if I don't catch you in the next video soon, I hope that I will catch you on one of the live streams over on Twitch. Take it easy, keep safe, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.